Well, good Monday evening, everyone. Todd Warren here on Facebook Live, as well as streaming on the weather page of our website, ktalnews.com. Some of you may be watching on the article that I updated on the website earlier this afternoon. Coming up tonight, going to be talking about going pretty deep into Wednesday's potential storms. Doesn't look to be too bad on Wednesday, as you may recall, SPC only has a marginal risk for our area. I'll show you the latest from Futurecast on timing, what it shows as far as potential hail, and if we'll have anything as far as a tornado threat. I'll show you that with Futurecast, and we'll kind of talk about Friday as well. Still some questions on where the storms will develop on Friday. Some models showing those storms developing near or just west of us. Some show the storms developing toward east of us and moving away. So it's not set in stone that we'll see any severe weather on Friday, but the fuel for storms definitely will be there, according to some models, and I'll show you those numbers as well. It looks like winter's over, as we'll take out a couple weeks. Nothing as far as significant cold on the way, as we're likely going to see several days in the 80s here in the coming week to 10 days. So that's what's on the docket tonight. If you have a question or a comment, feel free to ask away. If you just want to say hello, Todd, that's great too, as we kind of begin things by seeing who's here tonight. Brian is first tonight. Hello there, Brian. Lewis, good evening. Betty, hello. Aaron, greetings. Rusty, yes, it was. Yesterday was kind of crummy with the rain and the chill that we had in the air, but we more than made up for it today. Bonnie, hello. Carol, depends on, jury's still out there, Carol. I'll show you. Really, it looks like more east, both for Wednesday and Friday, to be honest with you. Most models indicating that. Gary, hello. Derwin, thanks for sharing that picture. Those pictures, Derwin, I love the color in those clouds that you showed there. Appreciate that. And I will probably show it at 9 and at 10 again, as slim pickings on the pictures from the website here recently. Mary, hello. Patsy, hello. You're quite welcome. Thanks for watching. Matt, hello to you. All right, let's move on. You can see it is starting to cool off across the Arklatex this evening, down to 61 degrees in Shreveport, 64 in Texarkana. You can see 55. Unfortunately, the camera down again in Marshall, and you can see the 58 degrees, the current temperature in DeKalb. This is what we're watching as far as the current weather pattern. This ridge here, this is what's going to get us even warmer tomorrow, as we'll be flirting with 80. But here comes another one of these upper level lows off the coast of California right now. This is going to move across the lower Mississippi Valley and bring us that shot for a few scattered thunderstorms on Wednesday. So before we get into the details on that, let me zero in on the national view of things here with a look at Futurecast and the highs, lows, and fronts. And you can see the disturbance in California that's going to be moving inland here. And you can see that as that energy develops or moves across the Rockies, we'll see an area of low pressure develop there in the western plains and trailing cold front. As that frontal system moves to the west, we likely will see some scattered storms develop Wednesday afternoon to the west of the Arklatex that will strengthen somewhat as they move to the east. That activity and this system will quickly move out. We'll see a nice day for Thursday, as you can see here in between systems, and you can see the next batch of precipitation there across the Intermountain West and the Rockies. That's what's going to come and bring us another shot for some showers and thunderstorms late Friday and especially Friday night. So let me get into Wednesday a bit more. Let's see. Eric says it's now 55 in Colbert. Thanks, Eric. You're a bit cooler than we are. Jessica, hello. It was a great weather day everywhere. That we're doing great. Drew, doing just fine. All right, let's move on and show you Futurecast up close and personal here for Wednesday, and I'll kind of get into what we could be looking at. So here we are again tonight, clear, 40s again for nighttime lows. Tomorrow we'll see lots of sunshine. South to southwesterly winds should warm us into the mid to upper 70s. Wouldn't be shocked if we had an 80 here or there. Tomorrow night with the wind out of the south, the low clouds will quickly form and move north. And then Wednesday, here we go. You can see the latest run of Futurecast shows the scattered storms developing to the west Wednesday afternoon. You can see as we go through the evening a little bit of an uptick as they move eastward across the area. And by midnight, we're pretty much done, and we will kind of settle into quiet. All right, so obviously we've seen worse. And that being said, not a surprise that we just have a marginal severe weather risk as of right now from the Storm Prediction Center. They thought about adding a little bit of yellow to this map with the afternoon update, but decided against it. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and of course we've got a couple days to fine-tune this. But we are going to have some instability available, or fuel for those thunderstorms, as I'll get to in a second. But that being said, here's some of the threats and the possibilities that Futurecast is showing. Notice there was a cluster. I don't know if you noticed on the bottom of the screen there was a pretty good storm that Futurecast was kind of hinting at. It is going to be a little bit more moist in southeast Texas, so that could explain that. Notice elsewhere, not really a whole lot of these swaths or rotation potential indicated with Futurecast. I'll zoom this out, and you can see perhaps a little bit up towards Little Rock, but tornado risk is low for Wednesday. Not zero, but it is low, so I'm not at this point too concerned about tornadoes. Wind probably going to be our biggest concern, but you can see a little bit of hail also will be a possibility as this loop goes from 3 p.m. Wednesday to 3 a.m. Thursday morning, I should say. So again, a little bit of hail will be possible. But again, Wednesday's risk is looking relatively low at this point. If we have any severe weather issues, they will be isolated, and most likely will be wind and possibly a little bit of hail in spots with some of the stronger storms. All right, so that's Wednesday. To be honest with you, I don't think you have much to worry about down there, Matt, and it's all going to be north of you on Friday. Just a quick look at the outlook for Wednesday. Yeah, both Wednesday and Friday probably going to be to your north, closer to the upper level disturbance, which is going to be moving. Wednesdays will be pretty close to us, but Fridays, as you'll see here in a second, will be much further north. So here's the longer range version of Futurecast showing you the nice day, which is Thursday. We'll see highs in the low to middle 80s, the warmest day of the week. And you can see as we move through Thursday night, we'll see a partly cloudy sky, and then Friday morning. Now, a thing to notice here is that we have the wind shift. All right, so you can see we have the south wind here. Winds become more westerly. That means the boundary at noon Friday is right here, and we really don't have much as far as any development. And this is as far out as Futurecast goes on the longer range version. So Futurecast is going to kind of highlight any chances Friday out here. Okay, so you notice the beginnings of the rain right here just starting to show up. So Futurecast is kind of hinting, hey, we may see the storms develop near us and then move out very quickly during the afternoon Friday. That's one possibility. All right, I will tell you that the European model shows the storms on Friday developing out here and then moving across the Arctic with perhaps the strongest storms over the northern sections of the area. So again, we're still several days out. This is going to be a very intense disturbance, which is going to be moving through. And you can see the outlook for Friday from the Storm Prediction Center. And I'm going to zoom this out so you can get the the expanse of this. The upper level low is going to be up here and negatively tilted, as you'll see here in a second. So this area here to our north and east is where probably we'll have a decent severe weather outbreak, depending on, given how warm it's going to be and if we have enough moisture available, which we probably will. All right, let's go out to 10 days here. And again, I can't really dive into Friday too much. The big question with Friday is where the storms will develop. If they develop to the west, we're going to be, again, witnessing a possibility for something similar to what we had last week. Maybe to not that extent, but that is possible. But it's also possible that storms develop near or just to our east and move away and we get nothing. That's also a possibility. All right, so that being said, here's the first disturbance, pushes through. The second disturbance, and when I say negatively tilted, if you draw a line through this trough, all right, right through the axis of the trough, it is tilted towards the southeast. That is a negative tilt, and this is a setup which is more conducive to severe weather and tornadoes. And again, this is the area closer to that probably will have, I drew that a little bit too big. This is the area here, get my pen again. This is the area here probably that will have the best chance. There's a reason why SPC has that area of orange there, and this is what it is. And again, this is the GFS model, and you can see that it quickly shifts it out. We're pretty much done until maybe another disturbance moves into the middle of the country during the last half of next week. And we will have some instability for that one, so that could be another weather worry next week. All right, as far as fuel for thunderstorms, again, a bit on the low side for Wednesday, under 1,000, but notice Friday, so that's why I'm saying if these storms can get going far enough west, we're going to have to watch this, because this is worse than it was last week in terms of the fuel available, and you can see a few storms will be possible late next week on Thursday as well. These numbers are from the European model, which I can plot, basically write down and plot in here. Just to kind of compare that, notice 2406, this is for Shreveport is what I look at. This is the GFS model going through Friday. Same thing. Notice 840 Shreveport at its peak, and then watch what happens 16 something down in Natchitoches at one point. So again, the GFS is a bit more east than the European model. So we do have some disagreement on Fridays that we have to iron out before we can really paint a picture with any confidence, so to speak. And you can see that as we go through Friday evening, the main focus shifts more towards the west. Rainfall potential. This is the latest. These are the latest numbers from the Weather Prediction Center. This will take us through next Monday. And notice, 1/4 of an inch or less. That doesn't tell me that they're very confident we're going to have widespread big-time thunderstorms. This is a good sign here that we may avoid any severe weather. And take a look at the blend of all the different models together. I talked about the European and the GFS. The blend is showing amounts during the next 10 days, which will include next Thursday's rain, by the way, only a 1/2 inch to an inch, even closer to 1/4 of an inch over the western sections of the area. So again, it's not set in stone that Friday is going to pan out for severe weather for us, but just keep in mind that the fuel is there for that to happen. We're obviously not out of the woods yet. We haven't even entered them, to be honest with you. And you can see that, look at the various models, the agreement on the amounts. The GFS a bit more aggressive with Wednesday's disturbance in terms of the rainfall. But again, doesn't look like a whole lot of rain here for the next 10 days. All right, so let me pause here as 8:43. See who else has chimed in here. Let's see. Friday, they'll probably will make some adjustments. If it looks like, I would not be surprised to see a moderate risk, Betty, to our northeast, given, especially if that trough is as intense as it looks now, and if there's good model agreement and we got plenty of moisture, if all the ingredients are there, as it's unstable as it looks like it could be, we could see an increase northeast of us. There will be some adjustments to that area for Friday. We could have a little bit of yellow in the mix on Wednesday, but there is some. Wednesday is kind of iffy, to be honest with you. We'll see. You have a good one too, Christy. Need to sum in. I don't know what you're saying there, Betty. All right, so I'm going to move on to temperatures here. And, of course, some of you may be thinking about or have already planted that garden outside. And you can see this is the 10th of March. This will take us through almost the 24th. This will take us through the 24th. Nowhere near freezing. In fact, more days in the 70s than the 60s. And, in fact, more days in the 80s than in the 60s for highs. and no nights in the 30s. So it looks like winter is over. That's one set of ensembles. Notice the 85. So we warm up late this week. That system Friday moves through, and then we cool off this weekend a little bit, warm back up. The system comes through Wednesday night, Thursday, and then you can see the temperatures moderate once again next weekend. And you can see the same trends here. So whenever you see that drop, you know that something comes through, except for Wednesday. But nonetheless, that's usually what happens. So a little bit of a drop this weekend, warm up next week, drop late in the week, and then a warm up again. So even the GFS ensemble is showing no 30s and really more 80s for highs than 60s for highs. So there you go. Zoom in. Zoom into what, Betty? I don't know what. If I need to zoom in, that means you don't have much to worry about. Let's put it that way. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. So John, hello. Let's move on to the forecast here as time is running down here. And you can see that tonight we will see a clear sky. It's going to be a nice night tonight. Temperatures pretty close to normal, as we'll see 47 in Shreveport, which is right at normal for this time of year. 45 degrees in Texarkana, 42 in Hope, and 45 degrees in Marshall tomorrow. Just a gorgeous day, a little bit warmer than today. If it's still too chilly for you today, 74 was the high in Shreveport, 73 in Texarkana. We'll be above that tomorrow with 79 in Shreveport and 76 degrees in Texarkana. And a little bit of a breeze out of the southwest, but nothing too bad. And you can see normals going up higher now up to 69. So we'll be a good 5 to 10 degrees above normal tomorrow. 10-day forecast shows the 80 for Wednesday, with, again, the chance for the thunderstorms late in the day and during the evening. Thursday looks great, nice and warm with 84. Notice the low at 59, so not too bad on the humidity on Thursday. And then probably late Friday. Notice that only 20% right now. And that's for during the day Friday. It does go up a bit Friday night to maybe 40%. And then next weekend, this weekend looks great. And you can see next week the warm up with the rain to end the 10-day period. But a little bit of a cool down late next week with highs back down to normal, upper 60s by next Thursday. So let's see. Michelle, you got a shot in Texarkana for some scattered storms, probably late afternoon during the evening. Low end severe weather risk, wind, hail, the biggest concern. The tornado risk for Wednesday, I'll just do a summary of everything. The tornado risk for Wednesday is low, but not zero. Can't totally rule them out. One out anyway. The risk is looking higher for Friday, but there's a great deal of uncertainty in the models right now as to where the storms will develop. Some say near or west of the Arklatex. Some say over or east of the Arklatex. If the latter happens, we have not much to worry about. Obviously, if they develop over towards Ruston and Monroe and move east, we're free and clear of any worries for Friday. So those are the questions that we have to solve before we get a clear picture of what's ahead for Friday. So that is the latest on what's ahead here for the week. And next week, again, with 80 Wednesday, the drop Thursday, that tells you that we could have a few thunderstorms during the end of next week. So that will pretty much do it for me tonight. But, of course, I don't want to get yelled at. Right? So I have to end things with my attempt at a little bit of humor. So I'll leave you with this. 3 golf clubs go into a bar. The putter orders a beer. The wedge orders tequila. What did the third order, you ask? Nothing. He was the driver. Big B gave me a little chuckle on that. Well, that will do it for me tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'll be back tomorrow night with another live update, the latest on what's ahead for Wednesday. Of course, I'll be writing a couple articles on the website if you want to get a sneak peek at what I could be talking about tomorrow night. And, of course, hopefully we'll have more clarity on what could be on the way for Friday. So until then, have a great Tuesday. Enjoy the sunshine and warm temperatures. Good night.